Well, hey folks, today I want to talk about the tech disc, and I want to see if the readings I get off of this match real world throwing this. And we're going to talk all about it right after the intro. Okay folks, if you haven't heard about the tech disc, you definitely need to check it out. It's a great way to measure your throws. You see the little puck underneath it. And I stole this one from Robbie C, so hopefully he's forgotten that I have it. Shh, don't tell him I have it. And so this is an ESP Buzz, and it measures your throw, your spin rate, your nose angle, and a lot of different stuff. And so it can really be a great tool to help you figure out your throw and give you some great feedback and data on how you're throwing. So as soon as I got this from Robbie, it was when I messed up my elbow. So it's been sitting around gathering dust, and I thought I'm finally starting to feel a little bit better. So let's see. I wanted to know how much the data off of this will be the same as real world throwing. And so what I'm gonna do is I've got the tech disc, and it's a Buzz, and I've got 4 other Buzzes in different stages of beatness, etc. And I'm gonna try to throw them. Okay, so last night I charged up the tech disc, and I wanted to test everything out before I did this today. And so I went out and threw in the net in the dark. Literally the only thing I could see was the glowing little thing on the bottom of it. But I threw about 8 shots, tried to throw them hard, almost full power. As a matter of fact, my shoulder's a little sore today, but I wanted to get a decent baseline. Now, before I had my troubles and my surgery and all that, I think my best throw was 64 miles an hour at something like 1200 RPM or something like that. Well, last night on my best one before I decided to give up was 61.5. I don't know if you can see that. I'll try to put it on the screen. At 1100 RPMs. And when I did the flight path of it, to check the flight path, it said that should go 339 feet. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw these. I'll probably do a couple warm-ups, and then I'm gonna throw these and see if it registers about the same. As a matter of fact, I might throw this once or twice, don't tell Robbie, but we're gonna see how it does, just to see how close the tech disc is to real world throws. All right, let's go see what we can do. Okay, so guys, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna throw a couple of these into the soccer net just to get some readings so that I have the same base readings. I'm the same body this morning because I hate mornings. I was actually probably more warmed up last night. So I wanna throw this, then throw the regular disc so that we're all on the same page, because I may not hit the same speeds that I did last night, so that would be an unfair test. Hope that makes sense. So I'm just gonna throw a couple into the net. All right, looks like we're connected. So that was 59.1 at 1049 RPM. We won't get into the nose angle and stuff like that because that's what I want to work on in future videos. I just want to see about if it's, you know, we're going to do a deeper dive into how all this plays together. But right now I just want to see if I can match the same speed and RPMs that I'm going to throw with these other ones. I want to get a consistent baseline. And I think about 60 is probably about where I'm going to hang out. .1, 1095 RPM. All right, let's do one more. Actually distracted by a guy coming down the way, so I didn't even really. Yeah. So I think about 60 is a good baseline for that. So let's go see if we can throw a few. Let me try to get a couple of these off before I get kicked out of here. Now we'll say I've got a little tailwind right now. All right, well, I got kicked off that field. He needed to paint the lines, so I was rushing on that. Now, I will say that my distance was right on the money with what the thing said as far as from last night. I haven't had time to do the stuff from today, but we're going to try it again on this other field. Just had to move down. I know the lighting's not the greatest, but we're going to do it from here. Yeah, I got to turn everything back on. I'm going to throw a couple more into the net. Okay, so while this is booting up, the last throw, well, let's go back one. Let's see if I can do, yeah, so the one that was at 60 miles an hour at 1,050 RPM was saying it was going to go 302 feet. And that's with the mid-range, with the buzz. Like I said last night, sorry, I should probably do one thing at a time. So let me look at you. So last night I got it up to 61.5 and 1,100 something RPMs, and it said that would go about 339. So the throws I did out there, the 4 throws I threw before I got kicked off there, they were all running about 325, 330, kind of rushed, but I think so. That's pretty good. So let's see if we can do it again. So I'm gonna do this net, throw a couple, and get a baseline, and then I'll throw from there. Hopefully I won't get kicked off this field. Oh. Well, I think this net is a little wider than the last one, just went right through it. So, well, okay, so I got 60.5 and 1,100 something, but it said it went 181 feet because of who knows what. So I'm averaging about 60 miles an hour, about 1,100 RPMs. All right, so now let's throw. I'm not gonna do that again. I don't want to damage either thing. All right, so now I'm gonna set up with this baseline here, and I'm gonna throw that way. Let me get a reading on how far that, I'm gonna check the field, and I'll be right back with you. All right, so from baseline to baseline is 120 yards, it's 360 feet. So that's a good marker indicator. It feels like there's a little rise on this side here, and this area is known to be a little swirly. So anyway, we'll see what we can do. All right, so I've got 4 buzzes, and I'm just gonna try to throw it straight, just give it a good rip, see what we can do. I will say my back is tight from last night. All right. Kind of stumbled through that one. It'll be okay, but that's not my best throw. That was a pretty good one. It does feel slightly uphill, and we got kind of a cross headwind. Yeah, I didn't get enough anhyzer on that one, so it's gonna fade out a little early. All right, one more. That one's a little beefier than the others, so let's go see how it did. While we're at it, I'm gonna throw the tech disc once. Let's see how we do. So I assumed a little more stability with that puck, and you could see it. Plus that wind shift and kind of gave it a little lift, but I'd be interested to see. Lost the connection. Darn, that's why I was wondering if I threw it out of range. Maybe I need to have this set up like the phone halfway through the field, so I throw it into it, it gives the registration, and then passes through. Who knows, we might try that in a minute. Okay, so I did a quick run out to grab the tech disc because it actually went the farthest of all those, and I think it was just I got a good glide in the wind on it, and it was around 350, 348 or so out past the other ones. And so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to stick my phone part way into the field and see if it gives enough time passing over it to give the information. I doubt it will, but let's see what we can do. I'm just making this stuff up as I go along. So yeah, I realized my problem with this is that they need to only be a certain distance apart for Bluetooth. And so, but I probably need it farther for it to then register at the other end. So this is a fool's errand right here, but let's throw up just for the heck of it. Welcome to science, boys and girls. Stay in school. Or don't. I'm not your daddy. Oh, all right. Well, that might help some because I yanked it. That was a bad throw. So let's go see what's going on. Well, it's wanting to connect. What that means is it lost connection. So will it update? Will it update? So it's saying it went 60 miles an hour, 1,055 RPM, said it should go distance of 317 feet. I think I'm a little off on that just because of my throw, because I'm sure the nose angle, well, yeah, wasn't a great throw, but it's okay. It's not bad. So let's go see what the other ones are doing. So here's why you need to have, especially if you're going to work on distance and trying to figure out things, having multiple discs of the same one. I know it's expensive, but maybe in your base disc that you're using all the time, like your mid-ranges and stuff like that, the disc that you have to count on more than any other disc, have multiples of those so that you can develop a consistency and know exactly the right distance. Because you can see right here, all my other throws are in this little area here. I almost made it to the line here. So that would be a good kind of median throw right in this area here is kind of my distance just with those throws. Now also realize a lot's gonna change according to the day, the wind and stuff like that. But for today, where I'm at right now, I would say this is a good median landing area that kind of tells where my general consistent throw is gonna be landing. So let's test and see how far it is. Of course, I should have brought my rangefinder. All right, that's enough running. But hey, that's the most running I've done in a month, so coming back to life, hopefully. All right, guys, I'm a mess. I can't remember anything. You don't understand, I gotta keep track of all this stuff and then try to not ramble. It's bad. Okay, so all these landed at 300 almost exactly. So now that I've warmed up a little bit more, let me go throw them one more time. All right, so now these are gonna be full pulls, so I'm not gonna think about anything else. I'm just gonna try to get a good pull on them. A little bit of a head cross. Oh, that one's overstable and I didn't get it. I threw that on hyzer. Not a good throw. All right, this is the one I'm counting on right here. I do feel like I got a little uphill run, taking a little bit out. That was a pretty good one. Wasn't my greatest, but still should be okay. I think this uphill run up is not helping. I know I'm using excuses, but it does make a difference. I just feel like I'm losing a little bit of transfer. All right, I gave that one what I had. Wasn't my greatest line, but I gave it some snap. All right, I'm saving this one for last. This is all the beans right here. Think, focus. A little low, I burned it. Poop. All right, that's all I can do today. That's about as much running and throwing as I need to do without hurting myself. So really, I want this to be the first video of a couple just where we're testing this out, but also I'm just coming back from recovery, so I'm curious as once I kind of get back into throwing, I haven't been throwing much at all in the last month. I want to see if I can now increase those speeds, because like I said before, I was up a couple miles an hour more and more RPMs, and so we're going to see how all that does, and can I even gain some more without killing myself, because that's the key thing. One of the things we don't talk about a lot when we're talking about going for distance and stuff is how much your body can take. And let's face it, depending on your body type, your athleticism, your strength, you're only going to be able to do so much, and pushing beyond that is a great way to probably hurt yourself. So anyway, we've got to be wise about that. Be wiser than me, because I keep hurting myself doing stupid stuff. So, whoop, what timing. The wind just blew that over right as I got here. So anyway, let's see how I did. Okay, so here are my two decent throws. The other two were just kind of but these got past the line So we're looking at about 315, 310, 315 in that area. So overall, pretty straight up, because you got a couple things going on here. You got swirly wind. I was running uphill a little bit, but it's keeping you in the ballpark. So I think that's great. I think that's amazing how it's kind of being able to track all that. So I love the Tech Disc. I want to use it more now that I'm able to throw and hopefully not injure myself. I think if you've got a friend or a store around you, a disc golf store that's got the Tech Disc, definitely see if you can get some time on it just to see how you do. Not so that you can claim I've got the fastest arm or whatever, but give yourself data on how you throw. The next thing I'm going to work on is my nose angle, because I know I tend to throw nose up, and that's hurting me in some areas there. So hopefully we'll have a couple more videos on this as I kind of do this journey with you. Hope this helps. Hope maybe that'll give you some inspiration. But at least if nothing else, you know that the numbers on the Tech Disc are pretty close to what you're gonna get in real life, I think. So, all right, there you go. My unscientific, scientific study. And I thank you for watching, and I hope to see you out on the course.